Alrighty, chat. I streamed yesterday, don't you worry, chat. Oh shit, I lost one sub. Uh... Alright, great. I didn't necessarily lost any of my streams. That's what I love. I'm gonna play GT5 story mode, director mode, Fortnite. Going to pretend to be a kid, going to pretend to be a kid, going to play Fortnite with AZ. Alright, okay, go ahead. I'm pretty sure I have to be consistent, not just have one stream on my channel. So, you know. It's all good. I'll definitely consider constantly streaming. Hope it has nothing to do with one of Hard G fans unsubbing because of what I mentioned yesterday. Cause that was I'm being for real though. But hey, it's all good. It has nothing to do with them. They wouldn't necessarily unsub. But yo, what's good, chat? How y'all feeling today? I'm feeling blessed. Back with more of me playing GTA 5 director mode. Earlier I was in my dentist appointment. It was great, chat. All they mentioned is I have to get Invisalign. They mentioned I have to get braces. I'm like, braces is the old-fashioned way. You gotta consider getting like Invisalign. Well, Invisalign is a type of braces, but it's invisible. People don't have to brag about it, saying, "Oh, look at my teeth," and all that. But it's not about bragging. It's about the keep your teeth straight. So I'm gonna definitely get the Invisalign aligners. Like it aligns your teeth, chat, like all of them at once, which I did research on. So you know, might as well. But hey, chat, without further ado, let's get straight to shit, chat. Just playing director mode overall, and then I have to consider I need to work tomorrow, and then considering watching the Stitch movie tomorrow, hopefully, because I even mentioned to my girl, like, hey, I gotta consider watching that tomorrow. Hope y'all can hear me when I talk like this. Yeah, she wants to consider seeing that movie, you know? But anyway, chat, there are certain things I want to chat about as well besides that, chat. Midnight, clear. You can only choose a temperature. I feel the character doesn't even feel the temperatures. So there's temperature, but they don't like complain. Like the character won't get damaged simply because of the temperature. But weather is like this. Broken clouds meaning certain clouds scattering, overcast, which is like plenty of clouds covering part of the atmosphere. Or is it like blocking the sunlight. Hazy, snow. Hazy is when the air has like pollution overall. Snow, smog. I'm sure that's like smoke overall. Fog, over water vapor production. Rain, that's water from what's in the water vapor gas. Thunder, associated with rain, and clear. Clear just means no clouds, no other natural disasters in terms of storms or anything. Meaning you can witness the atmosphere, but it's not exactly clear. Just know that, chat. It's not necessarily clear. Like, it's unfortunate we can't necessarily look at the sky as it used to be, where it's just light blue, just no pollution overall. In the sunlight, people say it's, oh man, what a beautiful day. Never use that word because that is in terms of like you're focusing on the worldly things in terms of something temporarily, then godly things like divine things like heavenly things. Yaraminche. And wanted status disabled. Restricted area. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna consider putting it off because I'm pretty sure restricted area is referring to like you can't head there, and then if you do, overall they would like in terms of self-defense they'll attack you. So that's what they're referring to. They don't mean like restricted, like restrict all the creatures but humans. Cause it took me quite a while for me to process it. Yeah, I never had a chance to play Fortnite with AZ, but possibly later today we'll see. Cause you know I gotta consider working tomorrow. You know, hi, off, on. Um, Alrighty. Muscle Sands? Nah. Perfect. He even agrees as well. He's like, hell yeah, man. That's perfect. But that's just the closing, like how they fit together. Doesn't necessarily mean it's perfect. Closing is temporarily as well, because according to certain biblical series, as according to the Holy Bible, when they mention like wearing white robe, that is like a metaphor in terms of like you're without lust, no shame, you are perfect. You're like gonna be like Adam and Eve, if you know what I'm referring to that feature. Nothing on, but that's like in heaven and the new earth, not at this very moment. I mean, some tribes where they are avoiding majority of those sins, which who knows if those are virtues. You never know. There's certain things that could seem sinful, but it's also self-defense. Like the Sentinelese, they're aware of who enters their island, which I'm sure they avoid like the world that have all sin, which I would agree, but they don't have an iPhone, but I'm sure they're having certain methods. You know what I mean, shit? But overall, yeah, the Sentinelese, and there's certain tribes, you know. But yeah, certain things I want to mention overall. So another thing that is associated with age requirement, despite it being temporarily, and how age requirements, despite them being temporarily, are separate from the safety for our well-being laws, chat. So even like ratings, like for movies, TV shows, live shows like WWE. Well, it's a TV show, so actually, so like TV shows, movies, and video games, they have ratings like age requirement, but either way, anybody under those age, people may think, oh, you're not allowed. But I'm sure that certain countries, or for US, it was back then, but other countries, there's certain reasons. Actually, there is no reason. That's just certain countries are like that. The US used to be like that, but then those who are below that age, yeah, it could seem arrogant, like, oh, if you're that age and above, you can consider playing a game. If you're not, you can't. Like, nah, that's messed up. As long as you're mentally mature, that's all that matters. But I feel like for video games, they just kept that age requirement where majority are confused, or I'm sure they've just changed it to where anybody of all ages can just play T-rated and M-rated game, you know? Hold on, check me a minute. I hear this conversation. And I'll explain later as well, chat. Hope I'm not talking loud. Hope this is not staticking. And I'll explain later as well. Okay, it's not necessarily staticking because I'm using the mic that statics when I connect it to the PS4 controller, but when I connect it to the PS5 controller, it doesn't necessarily. Hold on, check me a minute. But overall, as I'm referring to chat, like there's no restriction towards that. I feel like if I were creating, if I feel like during the next decade, I feel like it would just say M-rated. You got to be mentally mature, and if you're not, then there wouldn't be any restriction. You just wouldn't understand. Like if you play GT7, for example, in the future, once that becomes a big hit overall, or GT6, but it has 17 plus on it as well. Which, hold up, do they? Hold on, give me a minute. But overall, chat, that's during the next decade. Like I mentioned, chat, goals to follow the light of God and my Jesus Christ, divine light, and be obedient towards it overall. For video games, I mean, nobody's against that, but I'm like referring to like other like in terms of like laws, like age requirement laws, despite them being temporarily, chat, and despite the age requirement laws, being temporarily, they're separate from the safety for well-being laws. Overall, chat. But anyway, chat, that's the great talk I already had. My recent streams, but overall, that's all I wanted to mention. But overall, without further ado, let's get straight to shit. But give me a minute, hold on, gotta hear this overall chat. Hey, that's from my dentist. That's a good thing, buddy. You're gonna have your dentist appointment soon. It's my little brother, don't worry, Chad. When I have kids, though, I won't talk to him like that. I mean, the voice tone, but that's just how this current generation is. But anyway, like I play. Okay, so because I've been playing M-rated games since I was a kid, since I was temporarily physically a kid within my mortal body. It's temporarily, but when I was mentally mature, well, it took me a very long while for me to process it because like of my rare specific type of mental trauma, which is very rare and very temporally and very decreased overall, like very decreased. So it took me a very long while for me to process it back then. But at this very moment, it'll like not necessarily take me quite a while for me to process it because obviously I know what the shoe club is if you know what I'm referring to, that club, and well, it's not about what I know because obviously I know exactly everything considering the fact I have exactly 500 IQ, knows exactly everything, and it's equal to exactly infinite IQ in terms of the gift of knowledge from God Almighty Jesus Christ. But overall, it's not about that. It's more like how long it typically takes for me to process like GT4 I used to play. This is actually the first Grand Theft Auto game I used to play. I like the PS3, which I don't necessarily like it, but I may possibly consider using PS3 because I may possibly play all these nostalgic games. But if y'all just want it to be remastered and all that shit, and then I could possibly consider playing it. They should have that feature for PS6. Possibly they should consider like instead of using how on the PS Plus you could play that game like those OG games, but you can't stream it. Hopefully for PS6 you can actually stream it. Like you can actually like get it for free because like there's no use for using money towards it because like those are OG games and I can consider playing it and the graphics will be so. Or they can have remasters like add something that they should have added for these games like Ratchet Clank Future Crack 10. They could add more sectors to make it seem reasonable that aligns with the story overall. But it's all good because I was hoping to play like all the OG games, like PS3 games, but I'll possibly see. I mean, PS3, it's really an old console. Like nobody even uses it anymore. I mean, you never know. Well, hold up. Actually, yeah, not even much people even uses the PS3 anymore. I feel like it's only PS4 in terms of affordability towards the PS5. But once the PS6 releases, I'm not gonna judge someone for having a PS5. I'm gonna be grateful for having a PlayStation overall. Whether someone has a PS5 or a PS6 or even PS7 or beyond the PlayStation consoles overall. And for TV shows, well, if you're at home, it wouldn't matter. Same, especially for movies. I feel like Movie Theater and WWE, because that's a show where they have to adjust the ratings in terms of because some people get traumatic if they like if for example if I'm at a WWE show and I got traumatized by like blood or whatever, but like it could be now, it could be when I'm younger, like real shit chat, like it's quite interesting. Real shit chat, it's quite interesting, but like I mean I feel like if you're like for movies, parental control is like a free pass. Like, okay, so like if people are mentally mature, like I'm sure my kids are gonna take it after me. They're gonna be mentally mature, have very high IQs. Like they would have the IQ knows exactly everything, and it's equal to exactly their infant IQ. Just like how I have exactly 500 IQ, knows exactly everything, and it's equal to exactly infant IQ, chat. But overall, chat, you get her. But that is for now, chat. Like you gotta ensure that though, chat. I'm sure that in the next decade, I don't have to worry about that. Like, if my kids want to had like go on a date and be like, "Oh, I want to see this movie," shit, man, might as well, you know. But video games is not really a big deal. So my kids are going to possibly like my adopted daughter. She wants to play every game. If it comes to rated R, I have to be able to. That's like the law. I feel like that's to ensure that they understand. But if either even if she understands, despite the age requirement laws being temporarily, overall, like within this decade, and despite me going with the flow of the light of God and my Jesus Christ divine light, to be obedient towards these current laws, ensuring that like I don't have to go through all that like jail, court, and prison shit. Which why would I chat? But I feel like she could play any video games because I played when I was younger. They know what my age is. They know who's playing. Well, when I was playing GT4, they wouldn't because it wasn't as effective in terms of the PS3. But I played on Xbox One. I was playing GT5 when I first. Actually, no, back in 2016. I'm pretty sure that's when I first started playing GT5. Who knows? But I first started playing it like since like 2016, I would say. It's either 2016 or 2017. Hold up. I'll have to say 2016. That's when I first started playing that shit, chat. Back in like July 2016. Like back then. I knew every single was in that game. I knew what the club was. I knew all of that. Was it though? Was it 2016? I'm quite curious. I would say so. Yeah, it definitely was. I remember back in July 2017. Right? 2017? Yeah, no, 2016. It's either 2016 or 20. No, 2016. I remember I first started playing and I was like 11. So I started. So I was like temporarily physically an adolescent slash adult in my mortal body, but I was younger, so it's different, obviously. But overall, yeah, when I first started playing GT5, like GT5, like the fifth series of it, like it's my first time playing it, and I knew everything. But it took me a very long while for me to process it because my rare specific type of mental trauma, which is very rare, very temporary, was more increased, like overall very increased compared to how my rare specific type of mental trauma is very, very, very temporarily and overall very decreased, like at the very moment, very decreased overall chat. And like, it's very decreased at the very moment overall. But I feel that, how back then it took me a very long while for me to process it. Now it just takes me quite a while for me to process it. Like, I don't necessarily need to process on everything what's in the game compared to back then, chat. Like, where I'm like, oh, why is it? Because that scene that that scene where Chapel was going to the other dog and they were doing that. It took me a very long while for me to process it. Like I'm sure because I knew what it was. Obviously, I knew because, like I mentioned, chat, I have exactly 500 IQ, knows exactly everything, and it's equal to exactly infinite IQ, chat. Like, but now it takes me quite a while for me to process it. But for that part, no, I'm like, whoa. So when they were doing all that, I'm like, it's like you're wondering, you're quite curious, like, you know. But yeah, even when I was younger, I played it. Like on the Xbox One, I did. Did the rate people of the rating company were like, oh, this person is that age, he's under that, he's under 17. Nope, they didn't do nothing. I'm sure they didn't care back then. Actually, they didn't because they're like, hey, we don't have that issue. I feel like the ratings can occur so people are aware of what the rating is, so they can like be aware, so that if like instead of R rated, because R actually means restricted, which people view it as like, oh, a bad movie. It's gotta be MA, mature. Like, TVMA. For movies, it should be MA. For video games, it's M. But for movies, it should be MA. Rated MA, meaning you gotta be mature. Mentally mature. It's mentally, not physically, mentally. Like, when have my first daughter, she's gonna be adopted. And she's, like, currently 8. I bet she's mentally mature. And I'm gonna even introduce her to play GT5 even, like, that age. They wouldn't even care. So I feel like for video games, they don't necessarily care compared to back then when they first introduced it. So be aware, chat. Like, I'm sure back then you would have got arrested or something if you like kids play. But nowadays they don't have that. But don't fool other countries. Other countries saying, oh, they should make it reasonable. Like, that would seem arrogant. But we're in a free country, even despite it having less freedom, because age requirement can take away that freedom. Because those under the age they can't do it, but those the age and above the age can do it. So they'll be like, oh, my freedom's taken away. Oh, because I'm that age and I have to be that age, and above that I'm under that age. Like, that's why people, like, when it comes to drinking, people say under age drinking because they're like under the age, and those that age and above can drink. But I'm sure they're studying it to ensure, like, oh, if it has something to, like, if it actually damages your brain or damages your liver. Well, it damages your liver, but I feel like if you overdrink. So overall, they're monitoring that at the very moment in terms of the current law, despite the age requirement laws being temporarily. I goes the flow of the light of God and my Jesus Christ, divine light, and be, like, obedient towards these current laws, despite the age requirement laws being temporarily, chat. Like, obedient towards these. But overall, chat, for video games is not a big issue. Movies and TV shows at home is not a big issue, especially WWE as a TV show. But I feel like the only thing for restriction, it's only movies. Right? Actually, no, that is. Um, Unless they don't have parental control anymore, who knows? I feel like that's the old thing as well. And people just think, oh, you have to be with your parent, and they still restrict that because Google was made last century, so obviously they would enforce that. It's either the law for the rating restrictions in terms of age, despite the age requirement laws being temporarily, even though it's all just ratings overall. Because I even watch that Mike Lawyer or whatever, that YouTuber who mentioned, like, oh, I give tips on laws, you know it, or if you give a movie ticket that is for rated R movies, they mentioned that, oh, if you give it to someone that is under that age, despite the age requirement laws being temporarily. But in terms of, like, movies, you wouldn't get, like, caught. So I feel like the age is so I feel like the rating companies, like those that adjust the ratings or change them for the movies or whatever, I feel like that saying have not changed since last century. They added that, but they haven't changed this century. So hopefully next decade, I'm hoping to see, like, instead of rated R, it's rated MA. Just gotta be mentally mature, all ages. Just ensure you're mentally mature though. If you're not, then they would understand, and then it would interfere with you enjoying the movie. So, and instead of PG-13, it could possibly be PG-8 or PG something. I would feel. Yeah, I feel like put PG-6 because if you're 5, it's in terms of your mental maturity. But who knows? You never know. During the next decade. And for PG, just keep it the way it is. People think it's parental guideline, but I would refer to as post-generational content, meaning it's within a newer generation and you're allowed to see it whenever. Or what they mean by parental guidance, they're not referring to, like, oh, they're gonna guide you. They mean, like, see if the movie is great and if they love it. And who knows? That's just what they put. Who knows? It could possibly change next decade. Who knows? For video games, keep M. M means mentally mature, but remove the 17 plus. For T, ah, I mean, anybody of all ages play Fortnite, so I feel like before your puberty occurs, but just put E something. Yeah, put E for all instead of M because of the video game content. Like GTA, like Grand Theft Auto, for example, like the content, like to ensure you're mentally mature because it gets more real. And for TV shows, instead of TV 14, but TV something. TVMA is great. And if what other S rating is good, so I'm just saying overall, when you make certain changes, just ensure like why you add that rating, despite the age requirement laws being temporarily, even though the ratings aren't associated with laws, people just think, oh, my parents don't let. They think it's like a parental command thing for the ratings, but for me, no, not really. Like, just ensure they know what they're doing within like each of the games, but don't be strict. Because strict means like a dictator or very like arrogant. Like you want when you enforce these rules, it doesn't necessarily align with God Almighty Jesus Christ. So, as a parent, when the one of the 10 commandments mentioned honor your mother and father, only if it aligns with God Almighty Jesus Christ law, like slash laws slash commands. If it doesn't, then there's a reason why that person may seem stubborn, but isn't necessarily. They're not disobeying you through God Almighty Jesus Christ. They're disobeying you through Satan because they're disobeying Satan overall because they don't need to follow his law slash commands. So they're not intentionally disobeying their parents. They're ensuring like, I don't like that rule. You gotta make a change. You may think, oh, I'm the parent, but it's gotta align with God Almighty Jesus Christ, So when it comes to video games, I don't care what they play. I would ensure that they understand, but excuse me, but well, overall, yeah, that's a great talk. But like I mentioned, despite the age requirement laws being temporarily set, but like I mentioned, I go with the flow of the light of God Almighty Jesus Christ, divine light, and just be obedient towards these current laws, despite the age requirement laws being temporarily or any of them that is current, And but for the rating, no, there's no laws slash commands or commandments associated with ratings within like video games, TV shows, and movies, or movies, TV shows, and video games. Which movies occurred first, TV shows afterwards, and then video games afterwards. So yeah, when it comes to those ratings, you don't have to necessarily worry about them. They haven't changed them, so don't be confused. Because I started playing Fortnite when I was 13, but either way, chat, like, that released since 2017, and I can still be able to play it. I just never had a chance to because it took me a very long while for me to process in terms of how to create a Google account and then create a PlayStation account so you can verify your account to ensure that you're able to have access to it once created. But now it takes me quite a while for me to process on how to create a Google account, PlayStation account, which is very simple. So, real shit, there's no necessarily processing within that. But overall, yeah, without further ado, let's get straight to the shit, But overall, chat, like, once GT6 release, because I'm even in chat with Clover Game, because, yeah, he actually, I was actually in a call with him yesterday, and I was like, man, long time no seen, he has no mood swings. That's what I love. I'm actually going to have a chat with him about that. I'm going to be like, you remember back then you used to have mood swings whenever I mentioned something? And he's like, yeah, man, my bad. That's why I don't talk much about him. And it's not shit talking. That's just something like that. I don't like when people have mood swings. When they give me an attitude, you don't see me playing with them. I'm not gonna mention who, but you know who I'm referring to. Did AZ ever had mood swings? Possibly, but do I still play with him? Oh yeah, because he's been done with puberty since 18, and I knew him since he was 17, and I was like 13. So I played Fortnite when I was 13, but I feel like when it says rated T for teen. Okay, they could keep that because there's no age theirs. But anyway, hold on. Let me check GT6, and then I'll explain something that I want to explain. When I was like, oh, give me a minute. Let me hear what, like, So GTA 6. RP. Age rating. They should just put, like, game rating, because it's a game. There's no laws within that. It's rated RP, not rated. Rating pending, meaning they haven't chose a rating. Hopefully it's M rated. Like hopefully they officially realize like just make it M rated without the H, because anybody can play GT6. Like GT5, they had those not issues, activities. If you know what I mean. GT6 will explain more of what it's actually like in real life. Come on, man. Just despite the age requirement laws being temporarily, and in terms of like all that, don't do it. Well, you never know. People could do whatever. But I'm just saying, be aware, you know. But this is just a video game. It's not like you're going to look at it and be like, oh, I'm going to do it. For me, I could. Was my girl. But when it comes to, like, people under those age, in terms of the current age requirement laws, despite them being temporarily, and how I go with the flow of the light of God of my Jesus Christ, divine light, in terms of being obedient towards these current laws, despite the age requirement laws being temporarily, overall, then they're more aware in terms of like who they do with and which age. But overall, they have to be aware because, you know, in terms of like who they do just overall, chat, you know. But yeah, they haven't chosen a rating for GT6. Better just be M rated, meaning you just gotta be mentally mature. Come on, man. Rockstar Games created it, and I know I wouldn't necessarily be pissed at Rockstar Games because I would never be, because they did great. Well, for GT5, I mean, like I mentioned, I love the story line because overall it hits hard. For online, I just like it because there's not much, but it's great overall. Direct mode, you just, you know, fuck around, whatever. But overall, what's it called? Chat, game legal info. Oh yeah, for online they disabled it, meaning if you don't have PS Plus, you can't play. Meaning it was free before, but now you have to use PS Plus. But I wouldn't be pissed about that because real shit, like, oh, they released NBA 2K26. Damn, that's great job. I love 2K. 2K, they did great. They are on sleek. See, E for everyone. But for WWE, I'm sure it's T because of like. But for T for teen, it says teen, so I feel like when you go through that puberty phase, or depending on your mental maturity level, so I feel like it doesn't necessarily matter. Like you're, you know, I mean, I'll let mine play it right when, like, I could let them play T-rated games, but for Stardust, she's like in that puberty phase, so, you know, but if they're 7, then, might as well. I can't just restrict them from that. They can just change the T rating a bit just to make it seem reasonable, not confusing to others. It's not confusing to me. Like I mentioned, I'm not confused about anything. Nothing confused me. I'm sure they're doing 26 overall. It's considering the fact that 6 months later, it's 2026. So that's the whole point of why they want to ensure, like, hey, let's release it. But for GT6, 2026, that's cool. Of May 26th, wow. Rockstar made a brilliant and great choice. You know, hey. So for GT6, they have not chosen a rating, so hopefully it's just M rated. If it says 17, then I'm sure they're just aligning with, because they haven't changed it, so I'm sure they're like, let's get our things situated. Let's just put that rating. But then it's going to confuse people, and then people are going to be like confused. Plus, especially it's a new game, people are going to be they're now going to have that awareness. Like, oh yeah, you can't play it. You're not, yeah, no. GT5, back then people were aware, but nowadays, like, I got GT5. And I still played it, so come on, man. And people play COD, so I feel like the 17 plus is an old thing from the past, and they gotta change it the next decade, or hopefully even next year for rating though, because it's not like a law / commandment, despite the age requirement laws being temporarily, chat, you know. But overall, yeah, that's a great talk. I even had my great talk, my free speech, because the U.S. provides that because, you know, it aligns with God and my Jesus Christ. And obviously YouTube, despite them being made in India, they even give free speech. And they're, like, very aware. And they're like, man, you have free speech, man. That is your great talk. And I even mentioned it on my recent streams, especially this one, because, hey, I was having this great talking is great. Yada, I mean, chat. But it doesn't affect me. But I'm saying for others, so that if they're confused in terms of rating, and for WWE, make it MA. Whatever activity they have, just be mentally mature if you want to perform these activities as an actor or actress, aka a girl slash female slash woman actor, or actor. Yeah, that's what actress mean. Actor is the original thing, but people use it for males because I'm sure they were the first ones to be actors, and an actress is to not, because females, they have rights. Why would you take it away from them because they're the second gender and they think, oh, they're not mentally mature? We are humans overall, and we're meant to have two genders for a reason. So overall, they're humans overall, despite their gender slash sex. But anyway, chat. Without further ado, let's get straight to shit, chat. So yeah, for my daughter Stardust, I'm just gonna have to head at with her. Like if she wants to see PG-13 or R-rated movie in terms of the current ratings, I have to go with her because unless they don't have that issue, but I have to see. I have to because I have to see. It's gonna take quite a while for me to process on how she would react. Like for example, if they create a Megan 3.0, well, that'll be in the future, so that would be different. For my kids, they can be able to see it by themselves, or I could go with them just for the experiment, have nothing to do with monitoring them. But overall, I'm just gonna see what it's like for them, and then I'll be like, hey, if you see another movie like that, whether it's PG-13 or whatever the ratings gonna be, or R-rated, whatever it's gonna be, or MA, like I suggested, um, they'll be like, wow, you know what, Dad? We're mentally mature and it's great. What rating did they used to have back then? And I'll be like, oh man, it used to be R, which was restricted. I even enjoy that talk with them, but it's the current rating, so Stardust wants to see it. I'll just be like, hey, I'm gonna head with you not because of what people think of parental control or guidance to guide them or whatever. It's to just enjoy the experiment and see if you enjoy it, whether I'm with you or not. With my adopted daughter. Like real shit, man. Like I'm playing GT and I played it since I was 11, so it doesn't necessarily matter, man. Just as long as you're mentally mature. Back then, it took me a very long while for me to process it, and now it takes me quite a while for me to process it in terms of certain M-rated games I haven't necessarily played yet. Because I never played back then, so it's like I never played it yet. But overall, I'm used to every game, so considering the fact I have exactly 500 IQ, knows exactly everything, and it's equal to exactly infinite IQ, and considering the fact that I have a rare specific type of mental trauma, which is very rare, very temporarily, and overall very decreased. It's very decreased overall chat. So overall, yeah, it overall for certain things or majority of the things, whatever, I would say like certain things overall, it just takes quite a while for me to process it, chat. Like certain shit. Like takes quite a while for me to process certain shit, chat. But yeah, anyway, chat. Without further ado, let's get straight to the shit. My man, it seems like it may rain possibly later today. But yeah, this game is old. I'm looking for the GT6. Don't add those age recognition because even my homie Wibbs, despite what I mentioned about what he mentioned, which, and obviously YouTube is going to keep it private of whatever I specifically mentioned overall, chat. But anyway, chat, like for Wibbs, he even mentioned that they shouldn't have age recognition. Come on, that's messed up. Huh? Oh, hold up. One sec, before I... Mm. Oh, that's good. But for like app stores as well, that's another thing I want to mention. They even have ratings as well, but more like, despite the age requirement laws being temporarily, even though it's not necessarily law, they refer to age rating. And it was in this current decade of this current century of the 21st century, chat. Hold up. Despite the age requirement laws being temporarily, chat. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, sure. Caleb. Oh yeah. Oh, you chat with him now? Oh, did he explain like he's just been busy with his grandparents and just up? Oh, okay. Like on Roblox?
Some of them you'll obviously know, 'cause some of them are my BFFs from Inez, Bessa.
But yeah, that's what they have for the app stores or the app from the app store.
Yeah, I know. This lot.
Chat, by the way.
Inez, Max, Bessa, Mashi, but she changed her name to Sandy. Her name is not even Mashi.
Mm.
Her name is Sandy. Sandy. Natalie, of course you know her. Angelina, of course you know her. Amelia is myself. It's on my phone.
Your friend?
No, it's on my phone. It's on my phone.
Like our cousin?
No, Mikey, it's my phone. It's just my phone account.
Oh.
I named it Amelia because I was trolling people.
Mm.
Melina, Faith, Winter's friend Ivana, Alicia, Ayla, Valentina, my friend, Jaylene, Ayla, my hot.
One.
Jaylene, Caleb, and my hot Pinapin account. I just called it
Mm.
And then the last two people is Yasmin, like not mom's daughter.
Yeah.
Not mom's friend's daughter, like a different person. The black one was my phone. He's 11. This one's 11 years old. And then I don't know his name, but his display name is Hate Friend. I don't know what that means.
Mm.
Well, he hates his friends. I don't know about his life. Dad.
Yeah.
Put your hands up. Put your hands
Oh.
up. Tell you all their ages if I know their ages.
Mm.
Based on the recording. So Inez, I know her age. She's 11.
Yeah.
Max, I don't know his age. Maybe around 10 now.
Similar to Caleb age.
Yeah. Bessa is not 11 yet, but she's gonna be 11 next month.
Mm.
August something. August 8th, I think. And you already know Angela's age. I don't have to say her age.
Yeah, 16.
Mashi's age is 8, but she likes to 12 maybe because people bully her. Natalie, 11.
Or the Roblox ratings.
No, not because of Roblox, because she might get bullied for her age because she's 8.
Oh.
Which is kind of
Yeah.
That's why I lie about my age.
Oh, because mom doesn't want you to get bullied?
No. Mom never told me to lie about my age. Mom doesn't even know I lie about my age.
Oh.
But I only lie about on Roblox and TikTok so I don't get banned.
Mm.
And on YouTube I don't. Malia is, well, me basically, so you already know my age.
Yeah.
Malia, you already know her age. Faith, you should know her age, right? It's 4.
Yeah, she's gonna be 5 like next month.
Yeah, August 28th, I think.
Are we gonna head to like her birthday or?
Maybe.
Oh, okay.
Winter, you already know her age.
Yeah.
Ivana, do you know her age? I just told you, I think.
Same age.
She's 7, yeah.
She looks older, a bit older, so I would say 7.
Arisha's 8.
Yeah.
Valentina is just turned what? Valentina, my friend, just turned 14.
Dang. He,
Anyway, Jaylene, you should know her age.
16.
No, I think she's 15 or 16.
Mm.
No, she is 15 because she's turning 16 August 12th.
Okay, so 15.
And then Caleb, you already know his age.
10.
Oh yeah, no. And my Hopping Knife account early, you already know that age. Yasmin is 11, and Hate Friends, I don't know his name, now I know his age. I I just met him yesterday, but like he likes the same game as me. I like him. Not as a partner,
Mm.
like I like him as a friend. But yeah. And now what else you want to know from them that I probably know? So I told you name and age. One more thing.
That's all.
That's it. Okay.
You could just tell me whatever about them, like whenever. But yeah, as I was about to earlier, chat. Despite the age requirement laws being temporarily, chat, you know. But anyway, yeah, without further ado, let's get to shit, chat. But yeah, it's interesting how NBA 2K26 is gonna be so it's already out. I'm not gonna buy it, possibly later this year, like for my own console when I move out, whenever. And I'm gonna possibly either take it out alone or just buy it from Facebook Marketplace because the price range, you know, I don't want to take it out alone. Loan, it's like you have to pay them back, and you know, I don't want to start with that necessarily, possibly in the future, or I don't have to necessarily worry about taking out a loan. If you're rich, you don't necessarily have to rely on loans, unless you have to. Depends on certain situations. You never know. I may have to possibly. Never say never, chat. That is the key for certain things like loans or whatever. Just whenever you would have to use it, don't use it for sinful desires or whatever, chat. You know.
I'm not trying to control you, but can you be a little bit quiet? Because I want to play a game and I'm going to be voice chat. I mean, don't be like quiet. Just be like, just do not scream.
Well, that's how I talk, Valentina. So
No, not when you talk to me. Like, do not scream when you're playing a game.
I don't scream when I play my game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, I did it.
Alrighty, chat. What to possibly do? Because direct mode, man, I can't. I'm looking forward to Sunday because I want to consider playing story mode, chat. Yada I mean, chat. Union Depository. Okay. It's an interesting bank. I'm sure it's like a private bank because I have like that lock symbol. Like this is all locked up. Who even wants to rob a bank? Like, come on, stealing is a sin. It's greedy, chat. Come on. They better have a private bank like this. I want to consider. Well, I'm gonna actually create my own. I've mentioned. YouTube is obviously gonna keep it private about that as well. Anything I mentioned that may seem private, you all can know, but not all. Like certain people, like certain celebrities, or well, depending on the celebrity, like Elon Musk, for example. Yeah, you know him. You know he's gonna do. He's possibly gonna want me to use. He's gonna possibly want to ask for my money or whatever. So obviously, overall, YouTube is gonna keep it private. What I specifically mentioned about that, so that whenever Elon Musk wants to find my channel, it will possibly say this channel is private, or some certain videos are private due to the person giving YouTube consent to keep it private, whatever, something like that. Who knows? You never know. They could possibly have this feature overall, chat. You know, they could possibly have this feature overall, chat. You know, this feature. But yeah, man, I gotta figure out what to possibly do. I could possibly play different games later today, so I'm actually gonna end right here. If you want to see more of me playing GT5 Director Mode, yeah, because Director Mode, yeah, it's not much. I'll possibly play Director Mode just like off stream if I want to. But if I do stream it, there's certain reason it could possibly be just for me to talk, or if I want to do whatever that I want to do overall. But I'll possibly play like WWE 2K25 later today, whatever. But yeah, if you want to see more of me playing GT5 Director Mode, be sure to leave a comment down below. Otherwise, I'm gonna end right here. Take it easy, chat. Don't worry, I'll stream later today. If not, then possibly tomorrow after my work, before my movie. And I'm sure Valentina knows what I'm gonna see.
Right? Or Megan's playing?
No, hold up, tell me when I stream. No, cause